So rapper Lil Yachty, he's just had a child, and I guess congratulations to Lil Yachty. And he had a child with his girlfriend. Her name is Solange. They welcomed their first child together. Now, this is why I'm talking about this story, because it's very, very important. I don't really understand the mindset of our young brother here. So it was found out that Lil Yachty had said that he was so happy that he was going to voluntarily pay $100,000 a month in child support. Now, first of all, this man has made a very, very, very horrible, horrible mistake. A court of law would not even tell him $100,000 a month in child support unless he really got it like that. Let's call it what it is. This young man don't realize that he put himself in a pickle. Why is it that you want to pay child support, Lil Yachty? What happened to forming a family with the girl and you be there with your baby? And you there providing for your baby every day. You're providing for her, making a family. Why $100,000 a month in child support? You don't realize that when you give her $100,000 a month in child support and you voluntarily already do that, when you thinking in your career, when you can't afford that $100,000 a month anymore, young brother, and she go to court, they're going to say, oh, well, you were already paying $100,000 a month easily. So the judge going to like, yeah, we might well go ahead and keep that. Or if you're making a little bit more money, let's go ahead and up that. Now, because he made millions over the course of his career, I guess he's thinking, because he's young, that money always be there. If he really invests his money and flip his money, then okay. But you do not volunteer no kind of money like that whatsoever, talking about some child support. Men, don't get involved with child support. Form a family. Child support should be a last resort because you just couldn't work something out. You don't volunteer that kind of money. I'm so sick of all this, especially in the black community. All y'all just want to be making babies all over the place. Instead of like, why don't you form a family? Then what happens, these kids get messed off because daddy wasn't there, because daddy do affect the son, daddy do affect the little girls too. Mom, she definitely have a son. She can't raise that son by the time he's 11, 12, right? Need the dad around. Don't make babies unless you're willing to get married. My firm statement and my belief is this. If she isn't worth your last name, she isn't worth having your child. Why? Because if you marry her, you felt her, she's the one you should marry, then you forming a family at that point. And I've always said to women, if he doesn't give you his last name, then you should not have a child with him. You should want something secure. And a lot of these women walk around talking about they want to be protected. Well, marriage is a form of protection. Because if you just having a boyfriend, having babies with him or whatever, right? Then what kind of protection and security you going to have? He's going to be there. Versus when y'all get married and y'all have your family there and y'all do that before God and man and all of that. That's a little different. This reckless, the child having in the black community is why we have a lot of issues and problems. If you look at different communities that have a lot of money, they emphasize on no out of wedlock children. They emphasize that. You look at people like, for instance, people in Qatar and places like Dubai, or you look at people like the Jewish community, or you see different people like the Hispanic communities, or even other African communities, the ones that really emphasize family, and it's not really cool at all in those societies to be just having out of wedlock children. A lot of times you look at it, when those societies, you see more morality there and you see more family cohesion. And a lot of times that builds success. Even in our own community here in America, when we had our families together, mom, dad, kids, things were a lot better. We had actually more money and more businesses, right? So this young man don't realize he may not always have that money. And fellas, no matter how good a woman may look to you, and unfortunately you guys are literally dating the same woman. They all have the same look. Like, can y'all at least get something that don't look the same? Don't be so smitten with a woman and promising her the world on some child support when later you may not have it like that because you're a rapper. Now, if you turn it out to a 50 Cent or a Jay-Z, that's different. But remember, it's not that many of them. Kanye West, not that many of them that get to that level where you have that kind of, money. Puffy, it's not many out there. So you got to think like, okay, if I'm a rapper, Lil Yachty is nowhere near the status of a Tupac or a Jay-Z or anything. I'm not saying the little brother ain't made some songs that sound good, but he's not near that status. So unless he flip his money a certain way, and got money later, okay. But bruh, you should be stacking your bread right now and saving your bread for that time when nobody want to hear you no more. And then now you got some money, some residuals to live off of, or some investments, etc. Because I'm gonna tell you, child support money, that money right there it drains your pockets, and that can get you put in jail if you don't pay it. For one, get your passport suspended too, right? And it's 18 years. This is why I tell dudes, have a family. Just have a family with the woman. Get with the woman, Lil Yachty. Get rid of this $100,000 a month crap that you're talking about. Get rid of it. I know it sounds noble or whatever to some people. It's not noble. Get with her. Stay with her. Be with your child and support her that way. It's not going to cost you $100,000 a month. I promise you. But, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about, this to our nieces and nephews here on the platform. I just don't like young brothers to make a mistake. That's all, and it takes the uncles and the rest of the people in the community to try to school the youngsters. Let me tell y'all something. These people watch YouTube. They watch Instagram. They watch all that. And some things that we have even said here is amazing. Others, down the line have repeated. I'm talking about actually some of those people that's on TV or whatever, right? They may not say nothing, but they watching.